Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another quick pick prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the light heavyweight bout between Nzechukwu versus Jung in the light heavyweight division, if I haven't already said it, but yeah, we're here. I'll see right here is I think early on my assessment probably would lean to Jung, so you already know right here I'm leaning to Nzechukwu. But yeah, my early assessment is that Jung basically will be able to strike me relatively even, but Jung landing the heavier strikes, and also he'd be the one that could take it to the mixing the wrestling. I don't feel like Nzechukwu will have much success with his wrestling if he even tries to do it and anything. So it's gonna be Jung with the more tools and the more threats. And also looking good with his wrestling against William Knight. He'll be to implement that against Nzechukwu. But really looking at Nzechukwu, his wrestling defense isn't bad. Where he found issues in his last fight was the fact that his opponent would use wrestling or takedown attempts to set up back control. Like it wasn't the case of he was able to really score flush takedowns ever to score takedowns, maintain takedowns through wrestling. It was BJJ, it was grappling and backpacking. That was the issue. Like the issue with dealing with backpacking, not takedowns. And he fought Darko Stasic, and Stasic I think was never able to really have any takedown and control time. Like he got 2 or 3 takedowns, but not any control time. So it's not the issue is like dealing with wrestling. It's more so BJJ, along with maybe a chain of wrestling. It may be a higher level wrestler. I don't think Jung has turned into necessarily a high level wrestler. I feel like he can get takedowns, but I don't think he can get any control time. And I feel like ultimately it's gonna be a very tight fight. But I worry about Jung's output. I worry about the fact that he's a little bit predictable. I worry the fact he keep his hands low. I'm really ultimately gonna see this as a very close fight that ultimately I feel like Nzechukwu gonna simply just outwork him a little bit. It's gonna be a very close fight, but Nzechukwu ultimately gonna outwork him. Be laying counters on him when keep his hands low. Gonna be a case where Jung is reaching a lot with his shot and dropping his hands and leaving them down. Whereas Nzechukwu, he leaves his hands up very high style, open to the body, but I kind of see more Jung is more of a head hunter than a body hunter or body snatcher. He doesn't really mix up that much. But if he did, maybe he'd be open to that body kick or he'd be open for body shots as far as Nzechukwu would be. But I feel like Jung gonna be so much head hunting. He's gonna try to mix in the wrestling, but I feel like it's gonna be to the degree where he might be able to edge around with the wrestling. But ultimately, I feel like he's gonna pay against him where he's just draining himself. And then Nzechukwu gonna just be able to just outwork him, outlast him. I'm not saying that Jung has bad cardio or anything, he doesn't. But I feel like Nzechukwu gonna constantly be in his face, constantly working. Jung gonna kind of try to put him back on foot with some power. But Nzechukwu gonna be a stay in his shell, take the shots, and then keep coming back, pressing, landing shots, stay on the front foot, catching a lot of the shots on the arm and on the guard, and then be able to land his output, land the more cleaner shots. Maybe not with more power, but maybe the clean counters are gonna land power, have power through the fact that they are a counter and catch Jung entering or catch Jung, with his hands labored, like laying down, like lax and catch him with his catch him off guard a bit with these shots. But a very close fight nonetheless. And I see Nzechukwu just simply outworking and having better defense and be able to land the cleaner shots, outwork him a little bit in the mid and later rounds and be able to edge a very close decision over Jung. So in this one, I have Nzechukwu via decision.